the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Big Monday show lined up today. Tons of great numbers to go over in Major League Baseball with a full betting card tonight. The Aaron Judge story, the injury there, the movement on the AL MVP numbers, the movement on the AL Rookie of the Year numbers after Nick Kurtz's unbelievable Friday night. We'll get into all that. JP Finlay on the program coming up in 30 minutes. We're going to preview the NFC East, and our division previews begin today. Chris the Bear Felica, sleepers, disappointments, his best win total in college football in 90 minutes. And Mike DiStefano from Covers.com, they are finding a way to bet the Blue Jays every single day. And this has been quite something now, Pauly, because that's where we're going to begin today in Major League Baseball. They are minus 250 to win the division now. Yankees are plus 255. Add a number on that one. Add a 0 on it for me, please. And the Red Sox are 11-1. These numbers are all at DraftKings this morning. And if you go back again, they were plus money a month ago. They were 20-1 or higher to have the most wins in July. They were running away with that. And now 20 games over 500. And we know plenty of people in Canada. People come down here to downtown Las Vegas all the time from that area of the country or from other parts that root for the Blue Jays. And the common denominator has been this from every single person has been, this is awesome. I don't know how they're doing this.
Well, they got a very good team. I mean, this is incredible what they're doing. You're right. And now this is a big stretch that starts today. Number one, so much happened over the weekend with the results and the betting odds movement of what's happened. And then with the series that begin tonight, phenomenal. But now they start this game tonight with 9 straight against teams with a losing record. Mm-hmm. But to go from 8 down to 5.5 up, Bichette's hitting, Vlad's hitting, pitching's been great. They're taking out the Yankees. I'm with you on the Yankees. You can find 6-1 to miss the playoffs. We got into that last week, and it's just been, they're rocking and rolling, man. And as we talked about when we came back from vacation, with the way Detroit's playing and the way Toronto's playing, I mean, you have to say they're the favorites right now, and that maybe it's going to be Joe Carter all over again and back to a World Series appearance, because who do you trust other than Skubal in that rotation? And Toronto has a deep rotation. They have several guys that can hit and mash.
So I was putting together some same-game parlays, or check that, some cross-sport parlays over the weekend. One of the legs was actually the Yankees to miss the playoffs at around plus 550 or 6-1. I think this is absolutely real. This 10-game stretch now without Aaron Judge. I mean, at the back end here, they're going to be getting teams like the Rangers and the Astros. And if he comes back before that Astros series, who knows what kind of shape he's going to be in. Has not been pretty at all for this team. There was a tweet that was making the rounds yesterday from Codified Baseball, which is a great follow, pointing out that the last 37 games, the White Sox and the Rockies each had 15 wins and the Yankees had 14. I don't know how'd they win yesterday.
Yeah.
They credit them, actually. They put it together. They got to Zach Wheeler. And they actually somehow won the game as kind of big dogs in that spot.
They're only a game and a half up on our Texas Rangers.
Oh, yeah. And the numbers have been plummeting now. Yep. On that team.
6 in a row, 9 of 10. DeGrom goes today. I know they have a tough schedule. Same thing with the Red Sox. But the way they're playing, and I think they'll make a move at the deadline, they're hitting, man. And that's what we talked about. They caught the Braves at the right time. They are so dangerous. If you go DeGrom, Eovaldi to start in the playoffs with what they've done. Now you got DeGrom, Eovaldi, and Corbin going in this series that starts tonight, playing great baseball. And I want a team that's peaking, and they're peaking right now. And you're right about the numbers plummeted as well. But we mentioned it several times, though.
Yep.
50-1 and 22-1 was right there. World Series and American League.
I was also playing this weekend, playing Rangers in World Series exactas. Just a matchup. I played them against the Phillies on one of them, and you could find high numbers. But they have crashed because I think it was on Friday night. The Rangers to beat the Phillies in the World Series was 350-1 at one spot that I looked at. Right? The next day, it was down, I think, around 200-1. So, I mean, because of how hot that team is, and now Houston getting swept by the A's over the weekend, who saw that one coming? The Astros are down to minus 210 today, maybe even smaller than that at some books to win that division. Mariners on their heels at plus 310, but the Rangers are suddenly 5-1 to win that division.
Yeah.
I think the Stros they're probably going to steady the ship here, and they'll probably make a move at the deadline as well. And what Valdez is going in the game tonight, so you got to like their chances there. They've won 13 straight starts that the guys made. But this is, and don't forget, there is, I'm not going to make a bet based on this, but there was that very quirky 4-year stretch or 5-year stretch in San Francisco when Bruce Bochy was the manager of the Giants. They won the World Series every other year. And they never really had that great of a team. They did it like they were fluky. And I remember that one that one at bat where I think it was Hunter Pence or somebody like that. The ball, he had a broken bat. The ball hit the bat and then hit the ricochet, the broken part of the bat as well to make sure that he got his. And he got like a double on that or something. It was crazy. But they won it 2 years ago in Texas. And again, as you've been saying now for a good couple of weeks, you got to like their chances with the 1-2 that they have anchored there in the rotation. Mm-hmm. So it's a long season, man. Crazy things happen. None of these teams go out there and win 120 games, and they're absolute rocks and a juggernaut for the full year. And on the flip side, teams like the White Sox can turn it around and have hot stretches as well. Mm-hmm. Like they have the most runs scored out of any team by 5 runs since the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm. How about the big dumper, $1.60 MVP now? Can you believe that?
I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest.
You knew at some point Judge could get hurt. And how high can he get?
Did we absolutely know that for sure?
Well, you didn't know a catcher could hit 60 home runs, though. And the guy goes deep every night. So it's not so much that there's 6 games over 500, but it's what this guy's doing every single night. And then, whoops, Judge gets hurt. Go from like minus 2,000, minus 1,500, and now higher than 2,000?
Oh, Paul, I mean.
3,000?
Guy I mention here on the show all the time who loves betting futures like I do. Weston, he lives in Tennessee. There was a sports book earlier this year, a couple months ago, where they were offering every player in the field. At 15-1.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not even, I don't even think it was June yet. He goes, I have to bet that at 15-1. So I think he was like minus 8,000 at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, this is where I'm going to be haunted by this for a long, long time. I was reliving it again today with my buddy Chad up in Seattle, who reached out to me at the back end of May. It was a night where I was responsible for our 1-year-old Sebastian. Lorraine was out.
Oh, the
I'm
kids.
busy.
Wife and kids, yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. I'm not blaming him. I'm not doing that. But I'm just going to point out the reality of it. He goes, hey, Mitch, and he had a big night. He's like, we need to get this guy right now. He was 100-1 or higher to win the MVP. And my short comeback was, and not having a lot of time, I'm like, Judge is going to have to get hurt. And this is from somebody who has Pete Crow Armstrong from like April at 110-1. And my whole thing is like, Shohei's got to get hurt. I'm never rooting for an injury, but that's the path that I would need to have happen in order for PCA to win that bet. And I'm taking bombs on every sport, every year for several, like, long time now. And I'm like, nah, I can't get there with Cal Raleigh. And he's $1.65 today or whatever it is.
That's at Will Hill.
Oh,
Caesars.
my God.
Yeah, good job by Weston, too, just to grab the field. Absolutely.
So again, long season, right? Mm-hmm. Anything can happen. But I'm not going to get over that one. That's going to take me a couple of baseball years to forget about that, probably.
Yeah. What if you had Kurtz Rookie of the Year? How about Friday night? Never happened before. The guy 6 for 6, 4 bombs.
Sure.
You saw
he was minus $3, minus $3.25 before the game on Friday night.
So that's interesting then. After something like that happens, how high do you put the number then?
It's over.
What's the adjustment?
If the guy plays the rest of the year and he goes into the tank and he slumps, he still has to win the award. The immediate discussion on Friday night was, I think it was the best game in the history of baseball.
Yeah, 19 total bases? Something? Come on.
Yeah.
What do we do? Yeah. His OPS is the highest for a rookie since 1900, second highest. 1900, right? 11 of 15, 9 ribbies in that series, and he's got 11 bombs in July.
Well, put it this way. He should be the biggest favorite in any award market in baseball. He should be bigger than Ohtani, if he's not, to win that award. He should be bigger than Judge, what he was, in my opinion anyway, and bigger than any of these guys to win like the Cy Young. And again, in that neighborhood, we have an emailer, and I have this a little bit later on in the show, including the most amazing stat from Kurtz coming up in about an hour. His name is Chris. I found the email today, June 18th. Mitch, get on this now. Nick Kurtz 50-1 is ridiculous. Again, didn't listen to him. This baseball season is just...
That came in on the email.
I have the email saved. I put it in my notes today.
Yeah.
50-1. June 18th. Said the price is absolutely ridiculous on this guy.
Okay. And one more bad beat. The Blue Jays most wins in July.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was going over those texts and DMs again today.
Okay, right.
Because we were on the air.
There was a day game or something?
Because it was July 1st. Is that Canada Day?
Okay.
I did not realize that the Blue Jays and the Yankees were a day game. So I thought, well, I'm going to bet them. I'm going to bet the Blue Jays. That's the team that I landed on. I did not because the game started. The market went off the board. Mm-hmm. They were 3 games clear of the next closest team before yesterday.
Yeah. What a season.
Oh, my Lord.
What a season. Still got 2 months left. This is great.
I know.
The deadline, right? And we have another scandal now, too. With this guy.
Can you believe this?
Great job. VSiN tweeted it out. Unbelievable job. VSiN retweeted the guy who put it out there about the Class A, the first pitch business again. I mean, it's just a bit outside with some of these. Oh, it's bad. We got a game Thursday. Hall of Fame game. Final week to grab the football special. 175 all access pass to every sport we cover through the Super Bowl. 175. Our NFL guide is live. College football guide hits next week. Grab them both. Every pick, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the on-demand shows. Get it before Thursday. VSiN.com/subscribe, please.
Division previews in the NFL starting today on the program. I have strong reasons to believe why the Eagles will be the first repeat division champ in the NFC East in more than 20 years. That's next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
This is from Jack on X. You can always get in touch with the show. X is a good spot to do it. At VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. Said, love you guys. Don't jinx my Blue Jays July wins ticket. Still 4 games left for the Jays and Rangers. I'm not calling it over with.
Yeah, no one said that.
No, nobody said that. Just saying that was the team that I was going to bet. Forgot that they had a day game.
Yeah.
And would be in good position right now. That's it. That's all. Would never say anything like that.
Funky number today. Why are they only $1.15 against the Orioles?
I would agree.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. So we'll get into that coming up in a little bit. All right, so division previews beginning today on the program. NFC East is where we're going to start, Pauly. The champs, the Eagles. In this division, we have not had, everybody knows this by now, right? We have not had a repeat champ in the NFC East in more than 20 years. But there's a lot for me when I dig into these teams. My takeaways are, if you look at and you trust like the people who do unit rankings and overall power ratings and how good the individual talent is on these teams, if you go unit by unit, quarterback, O-line, the whole thing, they are clearly the best team in the division. Like they are number 1, number 2, top 5 across the board, like with every unit. They're absolutely loaded. Commanders are middle of the pack in some of the stuff. They have Jaden Daniels, but they have a lot of other stuff. You're like, I'm not so sure how good that is. The one fallback is this. They have the 4th hardest schedule entering the season. And if you go back again to last year, teams that have top 10 hardest schedules in the league, it's difficult for them to put together a full year that's going to be like winning a lot of games, making deep runs. Just last year, we keep bringing this up, only 2 of the 10 teams with the toughest schedules made the playoffs. That was the Lions and the Rams. That's it.
Do you think it's possible that all 4 of these teams go under their win total? Because I was looking at it that way, and I'm thinking, I love the Eagles, but the schedule's so tough.
Oh, it's brutal.
Right. I don't think Washington can sustain the 4th down stuff, or with the schedule, and maybe there's a little bit of a regression from Daniels, and who knows what's going to happen with McLaurin. The Cowboys are a mess. Uncle Lou gave that out last time he was on. 8.5 under minus 140. Jones got hurt. He's out 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
The backup to Dak is Milton. No running game to speak of.
Oh, my God.
Schottenheimer, the head coach. I mean, this is a fiasco. And then the Giants, we know about their schedule, and they're 5.5, and I don't see how the Giants go over. So I think we will see a repeat champ, that the Eagles are that good. But we don't have to worry about Dallas or the Giants, but it's going to be difficult for Washington, too. Because a lot of this was you sneak up on people. Well, now you're here. You've arrived. Mm-hmm. You made it to the title game. And I think it's a big ask for them to win double-digit games with that schedule. And can everything go their way as far as breaks as well? But they have a very good team. But I think that's a big ask based on the schedule game and all the factors that go into it. But
at the Chiefs, week 2. Mm-hmm. Rams at home, week 3. Very tough for them last year in the playoffs. At the Buccaneers, week 4. Talking about the Eagles here. The Broncos at home as well. That's a very difficult early first 5 weeks of the season. At the Vikings in week 7, not going to be easy. After the bye, at Green Bay. That's on a Monday night. Short rest against the Lions. Sunday Night Football the next week at the Cowboys. Black Friday against the Bears. At the Chargers. Then on Monday Night Football. At the Commanders late. At the Bills. Commanders again. I mean, that is...
Oh, that's ridiculous. They did that.
Sure.
Commanders twice in 3 games.
Man, Jane Daniels is so good. Mm-hmm. And I do like Quinn. The combination of Quinn at head coach and the offensive coordinator as well, Cliff Kingsbury, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, Kingsbury, not a great head coach. Don't care. Very good offensive coordinator. And I think Daniels, his play this year is still going to be like maybe MVP kind of level. But it comes down to everything else that happened to the team last year, including all those conversions on fourth downs, winning one-score games. And again, when you look at the rosters overall, for example, I'll use Pro Football Focus and Warren Sharp, right? Grading out unit rankings. They grade out the Washington offensive line 14th and 19th, respectively. The running backs, Sharp has them 29th, Pro Football Focus 14th. Their front seven is in the 20s. Their secondary, low to high 20s when you look at unit rankings overall. So that's a lot when you look at the Eagles, and they're rated like so high across the board. And to expand here on the Cowboys a little bit more, you said no running game to speak of. Like, what's the one thing when you go back, like growing up as a kid, even like the Tony Dorsett years, but more specifically like Emmitt Smith and those offensive lines, and then more of recent years, they've always, for the most part, had an exceptional offensive line, and for the most part, like a good back or multiple good backs. Warren Sharp grades their offensive line as the 16th best in football. Pro Football Focus has them at number 23 overall. Both outlets rank their running backs the absolute worst in football.
Yep. I see it.
And the same, like the secondary is potentially awful. Their front seven and Dak Prescott and the wide receivers will have to carry the team. That's not enough to be excited about.
Yeah, and he's got to cut out the turnovers. I mean, we want to talk about most overpaid or overrated. I mean, this guy's at the top of the list. But this is, so it goes back to kind of what they did under Quinn was Fugazi, right? Because of the turnover battle. And I give him credit. That's what Quinn does, but they were forcing these ridiculous amount of turnovers. But that has stopped. And as Warren Sharp points out, they lost a turnover battle in 9 of 17 games last year, and they went 1-8 in those 9 games. And how bad the offensive line was is if you include the first 8 games when Dak was still the quarterback, 26th in yards per contact per rush, 16th in pass win block rate, 28th in offensive holding penalty rate, 28th in false start penalty rate. And it's a huge game for Prescott's legacy, season rather, for his legacy as well. Tough schedule. The late season gauntlet, unprecedented 3 games in 10 days stretch. And it's just, how are they going to win 9 games?
I don't know.
So
I'll give you another one.
Eagles minus 130 to me, I think is the way to bet it. And I don't mind betting all these teams under their win total. And certainly I think it's going to be, that's a tough ask too for the Eagles to get to 12 wins as well.
You know, it's interesting because, the Eagles were around like plus 135 at some points in the summer last year to win that division. The toughest challenger people thought was going to be Dallas, right? And even throughout the year, I kept hearing, I don't believe in the Commanders. I don't think they're that good. Like, this is unsustainable. Daniels is getting lucky, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you thought about that team a year ago and could never adapt to it and say, I think they're actually pretty good and their play calling's awesome and Daniels is the real deal, then how are you high on the Commanders this year? And if you were betting, like if that opened at plus 135 last year with the closest team being the Cowboys and they're minus like 130 right now, wouldn't you say that the gap's even bigger this year than it was a year ago? I would think that'd be part of the process here.
You have to love their playmakers, though. And how, with the coaching at Kingsbury and how they draw it up. And they're just.
I love that.
Brown, McLaurin, Ertz. It was great.
Now, that's why I think the offense this year again will be real. They're going to be a problem again.
Yeah.
A major problem.
Yeah. And the defense was bad. That was a bad defense. But still, okay. You went to the NFC title game. But certainly you got exposed there with when you played the Eagles in the rush and how they gassed you. But certainly turnovers played a role in that too. But
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did much earlier this summertime. I played the Giants under 5.5 wins. Okay, so
and there's going to quarterback change that's going to occur.
That will happen.
And you can't have a lot of confidence in Wilson. You have a lame duck coach. You're going to clean house if they have a bad season. They always start 1-7, it seems.
So let me see where you disagree with any of these numbers then. Again, using Warren Sharp and Pro Football Focus, they grade out the Giants quarterback room at number 27 overall in the league. The O-line, 29th or 28th. Oh, God. The wide receivers, they rank mid-20s. I think that's a little bit too low because Malik Neighbors is maybe good enough to carry an entire wide receiver room. And if he had a legitimate starting quarterback from day one, the season that kid could put together would be insane. Their running back, Scadaboo, is going to be a wild card, I think, but they have him ranked 25th. That's Warren Sharp. Pro Football Focus has him 31st, and their secondaries in the mid-20s. The strength of the team is going to be the front seven, where Warren Sharp and his crew, they have him ranked 4th overall in the league. But again, when you have one strength and Malik Neighbors, and that's pretty much it on the team, how do they win 6 games? With the hardest schedule in the entire league.
Yep.
That
Concur.
to me is a massive ask.
Concur. I will say 2 playoff teams. I think I'm not stepping out here. I'm not a bold prediction, but Eagles and Commanders make the playoffs, though. I think that happens.
Yeah.
Because I think the North are going to beat up on each other. I don't know how. I don't think it's last year was something, but now with the Bears are supposed to be improved. I think the Vikings take a step back. I think the Lions take a step back.
That's going to be tough for that division to put up that many wins again next year. I mean, that was historical. And then how many teams are you going to get out of the South?
I know. Maybe 2.
Maybe.
I don't know. Atlanta. I've talked about it last week. I could see you can make the case over or under for Atlanta. Can they stop people? Because the offense should be dynamite. But until they can prove they have a defense that can slow people down, not going to happen.
Yeah, because of the schedule, by the way, I can't get there with the Eagles' number 1 seed. Even though I love the roster overall, who doesn't? Mm-hmm. They're going to suffer losses.
I think that's whoever wins the West. Yes. Possibly Tampa, but I would think 49ers or Rams.
As the 1 seed overall?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming out of the North. I'm very high in the Vikings. You're low on the Lions. I think the Packers have a lot to prove. And I can't get there with the Bears this year. So we will get the Commanders' perspective in the NFC East from JP Finlay up next. Covers a team, NBC Sports 106.7 The Fan in D.C. Why will this team avoid massive regression this season?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board, and our discussion here continues on the NFC East and specifically the Washington Commanders. Now we head out to the Progressive Guest Line. JP Finlay joins the program, covers the team in D.C. for NBC Sports and 106.7 The Fan. JP, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing great, fellas. It's very hot, but I can't complain to Vegas boys about heat.
No, that you cannot do. Absolutely. I want to start here because we just talked about this division and this team, and we were discussing how high we're going to be on the offense yet again. Super high expectations. I think Jaden Daniels can be in the MVP mix. I thought he should have been last year. He was so good. But a lot of people who are not buying in are basically saying, well, the negative regression is coming. The 4th down success will not be there again this year. How does this team avoid that negative regression?
Well, I think you and I are drinking from the same pot, specifically with Jaden. I think when you see regression in the NFL, a lot of it is driven by work ethic and film study, and, a guy is able to kind of rely on athletic skill and thinks they can keep counting on that. Jaden is one of the hardest working, most dedicated quarterbacks I'd say already in the NFL. So I definitely don't think Jaden will regress. I think you can make a real case that things should improve. Mm-hmm. One, you add Deebo Samuel, who is a unique weapon, and it's early in camp, but he has looked fantastic. He looks in really good shape, seems to be in really good spirits, kind of playing for another contract. You get much better on the offensive line. You add Laramie Tunsil, who's clearly a veteran that knows what he's doing, and then the first-round pick, Josh Connerly, probably slides in at right tackle for them. They drafted this 7th-round rookie running back, this kid, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who likes to go by Bill, and Bill has looked good. I think that's another back to watch for. I think offensively they could be better. And keep in mind last year, Jaden dealt with that rib injury for like three-ish games that really limited him. Health is paramount in the NFL and never a guarantee, but if he doesn't have to deal with like a rib injury, I think the numbers could be better. Defensively, we won't know until we see it on the field, right? But they got much bigger on the defensive line that you could tell that size was a priority for them in free agency. And I think a lot of that was intentional to they were bad against the run defensively last year. So I think they're hoping to be much better. And like for the fourth down numbers, or people want to point to the Hail Mary or something, like there were some fluky moments. You catch a Hail Mary, you win a wild card game because a field goal bounces through the goalposts. But like they also work every day in practice on what they call winning time moments. Like they do late game scenarios all the time. I'm not sure everybody knows this, but last year when he got the job, Dan Quinn hired a guy from the league office named Dave Gardy. And Gardy's job basically on game days is to he's basically your clock coach. Like, when do we call a timeout? When do we let it run down to the 2-minute? How do we handle these late game scenarios? And I think when you have that investment into late game stuff, and you have a quarterback that stays as poised and cool as Jaden, I think that's why you see a lot of late game success. Now, could the fourth down stuff break a little differently? Yes. But I'd argue league-wide, you're starting to just see much higher margins on fourth down conversions as coaches go for way more fourth downs. And, the Eagles are kind of a unique scenario with the tush-push, but, I don't think around the league people are asking that same, the fourth down regression for the Lions, right? And they go for it all the time. I think they run this little, QB draw to the right-hand side with Jaden with two guards pulling, that if they need 2 yards, that little play almost always gets them 3, and I don't think that's going anywhere. So, you can play, tougher schedule, obviously way more visibility. They're not catching anybody by surprise this year, but I definitely don't see a regression with Jaden, and I don't necessarily see why people are convinced it's happening kind of team-wide.
What's the latest on McLaurin, and do you think this could go sideways?
Yeah, it could. I don't know that it will, but it's not great. I mean, so I was there about 2 weeks ago now when Terry did a press availability at a car dealership here in D.C. and let it be known how frustrated he was. And I was there yesterday when Terry showed up and came out and signed autographs for fans. He did the same thing today. I think the gap's been pretty big on this. I think the team is thinking 25, 26 million. And Schefter's report today that Terry's side wants to be paid more than DK Metcalf. If that's true, that would land you at 34. And if one side's at 26 and one's at 34, it seems like 30 million could be a pretty middle ground where everyone would be happy. And then I'm sure you guys have talked about it. This Cortland Sutton deal is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Just Terry's been way, way more productive throughout his career than Sutton. But last year, Sutton and Terry's numbers are really pretty similar. Terry outproduced them in touchdowns, but their yardage total was probably within 10 or 15 yards of one another. And Sutton turns 30 in October. Terry turns 30 in September. Now, Terry's camp will tell you, yeah, but he was older when he was drafted, and he had a redshirt year at Ohio State. He's played less football than Sutton in the NFL. Period. Sutton's played 7 years. Terry's only played 6. And Terry's been way healthier throughout his career. He hasn't missed a game in the last 5 years. But, does Washington want to be on the hook for, assuming it's a 3-year extension and the first 2 years are guaranteed, at 32 years old for McLaurin, do they want to be on the hook for 31 guaranteed? I'm not so sure. So I won't be shocked if it ends up landing 28.5, 29, and the guarantees are somewhere, whatever that number would be, like 55 million or something, maybe a little less, 52, 54. But it doesn't seem good. The Terry side seems to kind of be running out of like polite leverage, if you will. Like now he's holding in, so he's reported, he's there. Like the only next step for them is like requesting a trade, right? And then Washington could just be like, no, you're under contract and we've given you an offer. I mean, you hope it doesn't get that way, but Washington could just say, no, you got to play on this and we're going to tag you next year. And they could just negotiate based off the tag. You like to think it gets done because Terry is a real treasure in this city and just a great dude. Like I've covered him since his rookie year. He's just a really good guy and down to earth. But it does seem like the McLaurin camp used this as their last, big opportunity. A third contract extension in the NFL doesn't happen all that often. It's usually big money. But, could it go sideways? At this point, I think you've got to say yes, but I also think they still have so much time before an actual game. Like, even if they get this done a month from now, you're still 9 days before a game. Like, you still have all of August, and maybe cooler heads prevail. They're able to kind of find a compromise.
JP, we're up against it. We have like 30 seconds here. Their win total is 9.5. Their SOS is middle of the pack this year, 14th hardest going into the season. You're going to go over or under 9.5 wins?
I think they get double digits. I'm buying Jaden all the way.
Okay, very good. You can follow him on X. He is at JP Finlay, NBCS, covers the Washington Commanders for NBC Sports and 106.7 The Fan in Washington, D.C. JP, pleasure. Thanks for the time today. We appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you, buddy.
And this is from Matt Saint on X, who won Circa Millions a couple years ago. 5 picks a week, took down $1 million against the spread. Basically with a graph as well, pointing out that Washington was the luckiest team of the year last year by a wide margin. I think a lot of that is tied into the fourth down stuff.
They're also buttoned up and well coached, though. I even go back to the Week 18 game. Oh, the backup's in? Okay, no problem. Ready? Look at Kingsbury. What are you ready to do on fourth down? Bam, go for it. Win the game.
Right.
I mean, it's just stuff like that, right? So good. And by the way, Sutton 4 for 92 today.
That's
Extension.
right. They got it. They're going to have to. I mean, McLaurin's going to have to be there by week 1. And by the way,
I could see that though. If you want to say the offense is going to be better, that could happen.
So. I know.
He's a student of the game. Daniel studies.
By the way, what do you make of this? They're laying 6 at home in week 1 to the Giants. Shouldn't that be 7?
Yeah.
The Giants.
I know.
Stink.
Could be bad. I know. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Could be one of those where we're looking back after week 1 saying, how the hell did I not lay 6 with Washington? And here they win by 4 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Pauly's going to recap the betting weekend coming up next and win some, lose some. And wait until you hear this stat he has on a baseball team. Find out who it is and the number next here on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Fireworks at the UFC event. Big dogs cash and some big numbers in tickets. Salikov plus 375 just to win. Knockout 9-1. Round 1 16-1. Grant by decision 5-1. Ricci knockout 18-1 to win in round 2. 21-1. Budai 5-1 by decision. DeRitter by decision 7-1. Guskov knockout 5-1. WNBA. How about the Sparks? 5-1 on the money line. They have played some high-scoring games.
Oh yeah.
Plum's found it from outside. Jackson's a good player. They can score, and they're fun to watch. And they cashed a big ticket over the weekend. The Sun plus 175, the Dream plus 310, the Mystics plus 155, and yesterday the Aces opened 4.5, closed 8, and won big.
The Lynx got that kind of a game, like 30 points, 8 rebounds, like everything for Collier.
Yeah.
First, like WNBA player to do that.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't win.
Yeah.
Atlanta's good.
That's right. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. So we were talking during the break. We think it was about 3 or 4 years ago when people said, you got to try this Buc-ee's. Well, like, we never heard of it. What the hell is Buc-ee's? I went to the Metroplex over the weekend. There it is. I went to the Fort Worth location, the smallest one, 52,000 square feet. Mitch, they have 120 gas pumps. Couldn't get on one of them.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And then the food, I got the jerky, then the barbecue sandwiches, the setup they have in the deli. There's the jerky section. When people said this, it lived up to the hype. You can't put it in words. The size of it, and then you just think everything you could possibly think of, they have. Oh, by the way, the cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen with 2 people inside cleaning it.
Wow.
It's that big.
Even cleaner like some of the big places here on the Strip.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Unbelievable. So then we were going back and forth, and I was Googling some stuff that their locations do like $1 million a day, and you're talking about maybe $10 billion in revenue?
Do you have any idea how many there are across the country?
No, I don't know. But we were talking over drinks where there's a bunch in Alabama. And the lady said, my brother called me and she said, you won't believe this. We're getting another one. She goes, what are you talking about? Another Buc-ee's. She goes, it's a gas station. But it's like, no, it's not. I mean, it's incredible. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's the most fascinating part to me is that you hate to travel.
Right.
You don't like to leave a 1 mile radius in Las Vegas when we take 2 weeks off at a time.
Right.
And you left for the weekend to go to a gas station?
Yeah. Now, see, what I wanted to do was to see the look on the cat was out of the bag. There was a tournament here and I couldn't play, and then Mitch was told the reason. I wanted to see your look Thursday when we do tip jar and pizzeria. And I said, Mama's Pizza, it's the best pizza I've ever had. And you're like, how did you know? And I would say, I flew in, had it left. I wanted to see the look on your face.
Yeah.
But I couldn't make it. I couldn't get there, unfortunately. Oh, man. Mitch, we all love dogs. Our kids have paws. And Mitch is great because he rescued a dog. Look at this. On the left, the gal is Leighton. The dog is Ramsey. And this is Ramsey's move. Just come up and give me a hug. That's Jordan Scott's daughter, head of Mama's Pizza. And you'll enjoy this. That's Ramsey coming. That's when they rescued him. The son is Austin. And he goes, I want a dog. And Nicole, the wife, said, well, let's go to the rescue. And they shelter. Second kennel comes out. He goes right up to him and gives him a hug.
That's the second that they went to the rescue.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, damn.
He walks right up to him and gives him a hug. And how do you turn that down?
You can't. You're done.
Look at his tail.
You're locked in.
Look at his tail. He's a Belgian Shepherd. And there he is, too, peeking in as you're coming in, driving in with the car. Peekaboo. That's his move. Who's here? What's going on? I heard some noise.
Good looking pooch.
Smart dog.
We
Absolutely.
have rescued 2 dogs
Good
now
for
back
you.
to back, and that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. If you thought about it, never did it, I can't recommend it enough.
We've seen videos like that, too, where like the guy will go and the dog won't let go of his leg.
Oh, yeah,
How strong that is.
Yep.
Right up and gave Austin a hug as well.
Wow.
It's another one. Remember Ozzy, TMI Ozzy, coming in? This is great. This is his dog Diggs barking at the TV. On the screen is a dog. Okay? That's Chewy. The dog, it's a Chewy commercial. And Chewy put it on their Instagram and sent him toys and food for a month.
Oh, come on.
Yes, right, for that video. As Diggs jumps up and looks at the dog on the screen and starts barking as well. And you know why he's named Diggs?
Probably because Ozzy cashed a huge ticket on Stephon Diggs.
I didn't know this. Ozzy, there he is with the jersey. Ozzy's a Vikings fan.
Vikings fan.
I didn't know that. He got him after the Minneapolis Miracle.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
And watching the game with his girlfriend, he got emotional. And she goes, why are you so emotional? He goes, you don't understand. I'm a Vikings fan. This stuff always happens against us. It doesn't happen for us. And I mentioned Drew Pearson. He goes, yeah, I saw him in an event. He admitted he pushed off in the playoff game against the
that was one of the most improbable endings we've ever seen before.
Absolutely.
Explain to the, I know who, well, I think Ozzy. I do. I've never met him before, but I know the story. Explain to people who are in the audience right now who TMI Ozzy is.
Ozzy is the guy who came on after he cashed a huge ticket on a golfer. He bet him. He always said swing for the fences. Chicks love to dig the long ball. What was he? Well,
he gave out too much information on the air.
Yes, he said.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, he's from Texas. You can put 2 and 2 together. He said how he got paid. I'm like, Ozzy, you're going on too long here. You're going on too much. Here's what Mitch was talking about the lose some. The Astros got swept at home by the A's. 1-9 last 10, outscored 69-29 at home. They've allowed the first run 18 games in a row.
Okay, now does anybody keep track of this stat? Like everybody keeps track of Yerfy Nerfies, everybody keeps track of first 3, first 5 now, everything right. What? I've never heard of this before. But that's because
I know. But Baltimore did it 19 in a row in 1987.
Okay, so that's the last time.
Yeah, I can't believe that happened. 18 games in a row.
But Houston's good.
Yeah, I know, but they're also, they're at home, though. The other team's batting first.
I know.
And that's been happening, too. They're giving up a lot of first-inning runs. 18 games in a row. This is a good team. That's nuts. You can bet on this.
Yeah, just will the team score first?
Bad beat. Tigers, Blue Jays under 3-0 in the 8th, and it goes over. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't follow the market. They help shape it. You're not going to outmuscle or outsmart billion-dollar books of full-time sharps all by yourself with the sharp plays you don't have to. Backed by advanced AI, connected to trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers a kind of edge serious bettors count on every day. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights, straight to your inbox or X feed. Isn't some summer side hustle. Sharp Plays has been improving it since 2011. Documented results, logs, and receipts. SharpPlays.com, trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com. Stay ahead of the line.
All right, so people are doing the work for us here today. This is from Dell on X. He looked it up. 51 Buc-ee's across the country.
Oh, thank you.
And more are on the way.
And it said, see if my numbers are right, too. Because I was talking to the guys at Mama's Pizza. They were saying they do like $1 million a day in sales, and you're talking about billions a year in revenue. What they're doing. You couldn't move in there.
What was, did you like the jerk? Because we were told,
Jerky was good.
The brisket sandwiches,
I didn't have that. Because I had to save myself. Because I was walking into Mama's Pizza.
Oh, right after.
So I couldn't do much with the food at Buc-ee's. Did Buc-ee's, Mama's, Joe T. Garcia's, and left.
Now, what is Joe T. Garcia's?
That was I'll show that tomorrow.
Remember
that was the place with the long line? It's the biggest restaurant I've ever. It's got to be the biggest restaurant in the world. It's a whole block. The restaurant's a whole block.
That's the famous Mexican place that's in the area.
People wait in line for an hour and a half on the weekends. They're drinking margaritas in line.
Oh, is that right?
They have 9 bars.
9 bars?
9 bars. That's how big it is. It's a restaurant.
Well, they do things bigger there, you know.
That's the place that's right. Cash only. There's police officers there because it's cash only.
It's its own city, basically, is what it is.
They do it big in Texas. You're right, my friend. Good stuff.
Overall, how would you grade the weekend then?
I'd say an A.
Wow. Pretty good.
Because I encountered a couple problems at the airport. I'm not a fan of that airport.
There?
Dallas-Fort Worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of flying in general? You hate flying,
don't you? Flying. No.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, Dreamwater. Dreamwater helped me. 2 hours, 15 minutes there and back.
Well, that's not bad. You can play on your phone for 2 hours.
Yeah, sure. But the Dreamwater gets me through.
Did you have anybody go rogue on the plane?
No, I was out.
This is now becoming a national phenomenon.
Yep.
People are making Instagram videos that are getting like hundreds of thousands of likes for people who are in the back, and they're charging as the plane lands to get up 2 rows, and then they're making a big stink of it now. Stop recording. Get out of my way. I got places to be. Yeah, you're the only one on the plane.
Yeah. I know. So Jordan Scott, owner of Mama's, says he flies first class a lot. He says you will not believe, because he doesn't like to sleep on the plane, you will not believe how many people go to the bathroom without their shoes on.
Without their shoes on. Interesting. Okay.
He goes, what are you doing? It's unbelievable. He says
can you
out of control.
How filthy some of the stuff is?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin lunch for people, but that's exactly right.
Takeaways from the betting weekend coming up next. Big discussion was had if A's rookie Nick Kurtz legitimately had the best game in the history of baseball. I'll tell you what. One specific stat to me suggests he did, and it's nothing short of amazing. That's next.